A poem for our Sisterhood Rewritten group here. We gather because something in us remembers. A circle, a fire, the sound of women breathing together. We gather carrying stories, stories of belonging, stories of longing, stories of being chosen, stories of being left. Every woman here arrives with a history in her body, a history of friendship, of comparison, of devotion, of silence. And still we come. We come because there is an ache for something steadier, something truer, something that feels like home in the nervous system. Sisterhood is breath shared in the same room. It is eye contact that does not waver. It is listening without interruption. It is laughter that loosens armor. It is tears that do not need to be explained. It is women allowing other women to exist fully as themselves. Today, we show up in this permission. We're here in presence, in curiosity, in warmth. We arrive in the possibility that sisterhood can feel spacious, sovereign, alive. We are here together, breathing the same planet Earth air. This is where rewriting begins. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Does anyone feel like being the first courageous person to share anything about their experience? Kick us off here. You can share anything that feels good to you. Every experience of breathwork is so unique and different. Cora.
Thank you. For me, what stands out actually is that I had a very soft experience and my breath was pretty slow and light. And my mind was saying, oh, am I doing this wrong? I should go deeper. I recognized I don't think this is resistance. This is actually me listening to what I really need right now. And I have that part of me that wants to do it and do it right and do it the best. And if I'm going to get breath work, I'm going to make it count.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like really patriarchal thinking as it comes out of my mouth. And I just felt like, oh, I'm not going to do that this time.
Mhm.
And I felt like I had one of the best naps and I wasn't asleep, but I
Mhm.
feel like I just rested on a level that's new for me. So thank
Beautiful.
you so much.
Oh, great. I love it. Trusted your body. You trusted the softness. You trusted what you needed, your intuition. And you let yourself have the experience that you exactly needed, not the experience you thought you should have. And it was perfect for you, divine for you. And even if you had fallen asleep, that's okay too, right? Because it's always what we need. So thank you for kicking us off and having the courage to share in that way. You're glowing, you look beautiful. All of you look so fantastically gorgeous and beautiful. Samantha?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was beautiful. I think for me, it was just really nice to unplug for a little bit and just have a moment to lay down and breathe. And it's really just as simple as that. I didn't have any lobster hands or anything this time. It was just nice because I feel like I'm always having to do something. So it was definitely that feminine pause. That was great.
So glad.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
feel such a powerful heart resonant energy flowing through this group already. It's really beautiful. It feels so good. Thank you, Samantha, for being here. And I love that image behind you. It's so perfect for our gathering.
My goddess painting.
That's lovely. Camilla.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm going to be quite transparent. So here we go. Last night, I got hit with a wave of the Epstein files processing, and I had to do a sound bath at a hot yoga studio. And I cried probably most of the sound bath. But the other thing I felt was rage, and it was channeled toward a woman who was making a lot of noises. And I don't know if anyone else has this. When I'm activated or I'm dysregulated, there's this irritability that's not normally with me.
Mm, mm,
So I went home. I was aware of it, but in my head, I was cursing her out. Like,
mhm.
oh, why are you breathing like that? Aware that it doesn't have to do with her. So I went home and I channeled it through a spoken word poem. It was really cathartic and helpful. Today, knowing we were doing breath work, I also facilitate breath. And I don't really do it very often because I'm ultra sensitive. So I only do it every now and then again. So it only takes a few rounds for me to like blast off. It was so powerful to do it today, but I noticed the same thing. Just being totally transparent, your voice was again activating that irritability. And I was like, okay, like, don't run from it. I was like, okay, come on, like, let it. And it feels like this primal rage getting activated through sounds from other people. So I stuck with it. I kept going and I cried, screamed, a lot of moaning, a lot of sound. And when we did the primal, I'm surprised I still have a voice because I was making a range of sounds when I was screaming. And then when you played that final song, that was synchronistic. And that last song you played when we got the free time, I was dancing on my bed and laughing.
Love it.
It was powerful. And I'm grateful because I wouldn't have done this if I didn't say yes to the panel. I wouldn't have been doing breath work this morning. So you got me to do it. I fucking needed it. Yes, I appreciate it. I
Oh,
feel lighter and I'm just grateful to be here.
oh. Hey, thank you for the authenticity because that's what we need to crack us open and to get this conversation going. Because no one needs a conversation that sounds like what we think we're supposed to say. And as a facilitator, as several of us are here, it can be really challenging to have another breathwork facilitator facilitate for us. It's really common. And the experience you had with the woman in the sound bath and the way she was breathing. And as you know, Camilla, I believe we're on the same page about this, is everyone is just an aspect of ourselves. And so what part of myself am I just sick of or annoyed with, or like I can't stand my own voice right now because whatever that's going on for me. And so I'm happy that I activated you and that you did it because of the panel. Thank you for giving yourself the dancing and the freedom and the moaning and the toning and all that expression. And I'm so glad that you did that for the collective. And I hope that you can be an example to others in the way that you shared the truth of it's not just all flowers and roses, right? Each experience is exactly what it needs to be. So thank you for showing up, even though, you know, it's like, oh, wow, that's not how I facilitate, or I'm really sensitive and I don't like to do this, especially before a panel. I feel like it can be like, whoa, what am I going to say on the panel if I like fucking really open up? So it can be scary, but I think that's also what's so exciting about it is that we get to just play with. It's scary for me too.
Teresa, nice to meet you all. Also, breathwork facilitator, among other things, and rarely get breathworked too. It's like, I don't seek that out typically. Like, I got it. I can do that shit myself. Feelings of tenderness. Whew. Yeah. Still struggling with it currently. Big transition, it feels like. Outside, inside, this age, this world, this country, this body, this thing. Lots of family coming up, like little girl stuff. Deep missing, Australian, long way away. Yeah. I think just the thought of connecting to the sisterhood and all the stories that have come up, you know, with that. And just being my own sister to my own self, my own mother to my own self. And so just grateful for the conversation and for your leadership. And that song, whatever that Hold Me song was, when it talked about the father I adore, I was like, forget it, I'm out. I was like, ah!
I love it.
Yeah, I think that was the moment. So I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Great. So there you go, kick off the cry and let's get to it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for that. I felt such head tingles and buzziness and open-heartedness, and we're all nodding and relating to
Yeah.
what you're sharing, and it's beautiful. And thank you for being a breathwork facilitator as well, because we need us. We need the breath. We need facilitators, and we need all different kinds. So thank you.
I also don't typically do breath work because it's so activating. And so, yeah, I was like, oh, wait, I'm doing breath work this morning. I'm in Hawaii, so it's 7:30 in the morning. I had just woken up, had my coffee. I was like, oh, okay, got it. And so I dropped really in quickly. And the first thing I was experiencing in my body was a lot of pleasure, which I was surprised. And I was like, whoa. And then I went through this massive healing around this reclamation of my pleasures of my own. And I was pulling out energy from past lovers. And I was calling in God to restore my original blueprint. And I was using my voice. And I went right in really quickly and just tears and a little bit of rage and boundaries and full expression. And that's by the time we got to that song, I was soft and gentle holding now. And so it was sweet to be able to feel I'm in my own journey here and I'm in my own moment to moment experience and allowing that. I was really surprised at the depth of healing that I went to.
Yeah.
That was really deep and also just like very attainable and very easy. And I really appreciated the space that you held to be able to bring us there.
I love hearing the variety of everyone's experience. I love hearing the fact that you allowed yourself that pleasure straight out the gate because I think that's so important for other women to hear that experience. Oh, it can feel that way straight out the gate. And that you can be on your own rhythm with it and you can trust your own process of rewriting your blueprints and calling in God and having this whole mystical, magical, mythical, sourced experience. When people share that type of epic journey, I think it really gives everyone else permission to know that that's possible. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for trusting me to have your experience alongside the one that I was guiding.
I trust you because I trust myself. And that's a big part of the journey. I feel safe because I feel safe within inside myself and I know my boundaries and my limits and all of the things. Now, I oftentimes have this awareness, like when we're in it, and I facilitate as well, but when we're in a guided class, we're meeting the moment of the facilitator. And the reality is we're all different and we're meeting each moment in different ways. Being on the computer this morning, I could just be at my own pace for the experience was really beautiful because I could know that you're holding the field of the energy, but have my own moment to moment experience. Deep appreciation for that.
Right back at you.
And nice to be here with all of you, sisters.
So nice to meet you, and thank you, Cora, for introducing us. And I love that you're in Hawaii. I just came from there. So beautiful.
I felt like this was a full circle experience for me. Out the gate, immediately, I started weeping and was crying almost the entire time. And it really checked out because I've been very much in my masculine energy and doing for others and not really taking care of myself. Also not knowing how to even share how much I was feeling and not knowing how to access that. Breathwork has been so helpful. And this has been such a gift to be able to access and release what I know in my mind I need, but not really able to do for myself. And to do that with so many other amazing women and to be in that community, even with our cameras off, was so powerful. And to be able to start that before our panel has also been really awesome too. Super grateful for the experience.
Thank you for that sharing of yourself. Trisha.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Well, again, thank you for having the courage to show up here, to share, to be amongst new women, and to give yourself more of that feminine energy and allow yourself to receive in that way, and trusting yourself, trusting me, trusting the field. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. You all do such powerful work, so it's really an honor to get to lead each of you through the breathwork and to get to hold space for you in this panel about something really tender. There's no coincidence that we're here together as women, as sisters. This transmission has been in the making for a little while. I feel like our souls have congregated in a way to come together for whatever our listeners are needing from us and whatever our hearts are needing from ourselves and from each other. I have very little in terms of a plan other than there's a very light structure of looking at the old pattern. Where have we overfunctioned as sisters? Where have we felt that we've betrayed ourselves in little ways or in big ways? Where have we competed or compared? And these are so human and we're always on the journey. The second piece is, what did it cost us? What did it teach us? Where did it wake us up? I don't want you to feel like you have to cover every story or every piece of the sisterhood wound is or how we're rewriting our relationship with other women. But maybe there's one thing that's up for you in this moment after having done the breath work, after having dropped into your truth. Maybe there's just one thing that's up for you. And maybe it's not the thing that you thought you might share about. Maybe it's something different. I'll kick us off with my own vulnerability. And then the third part is, what does sisterhood look like now? What does sovereignty inside relationship look like now? How do we stay ourselves and stay connected? This is really just experimental. Let's just talk. I chose this theme because it's very much up for me. I have found, especially recently, but of course my whole life, female friendships to be incredibly deeply rewarding, and some of the best experiences of my whole life have been in sisterhood, whether it's one-on-one or in a group. It's definitely the work that I'm here to do, is to gather women like so many of you. It's your work. And more recently, I've felt my lessons are really, really fresh and up. And that sisterhood wound is like, whew, it's not done. You're going to keep, the more you expand, the more you step into your power, the more I expand, the more I step into my power, the more I create new things and say, hey, I'm here to sit in circle with sisters, the more I get to feel those icky feelings and those things that come up for me, where maybe there's some motherhood stuff, or maybe there's some childhood stuff. Maybe there's the seventh grader who had to eat lunch in the bathroom because she didn't want to sit with anyone. And especially with some of you who do retreats or things like this. Recently, I did a retreat and there was a lot of not feeling that other people were enough, that they weren't meeting my expectations. And what was that about for me? And then them feeling criticized or judged by me. And so it's like, ooh, yeah, it's all up. And feeling left out and feeling ostracized by groups of women, comparing, looking on social media, not feeling like I'm where I should be based on other women. So it's all there, and I think it's all human, and I think we all have some version of that where it's like, do I speak my truth or do I belong, right?
Mhm.
Choosing that authenticity or that belonging. And how can we show up as ourselves compassionately and be our whole selves and still be accepted for who we are? I find that as a mother and as a perimenopausal woman, it feels harder than it did because I'm not willing to pretend anything. That's where I'm starting with. And Heidi, go ahead if you would, and just anything you want to share from your heart about this topic.
Thank you so much, Siri. It's so nice to be here with all you beautiful loves. Yeah, this is one that rings very, very, very near and dear to my heart. I've had a deep sister wound for really my whole life. And it's been, I like the Gay Hendricks big leap of the reasons why we don't shine. And my story for a long time, for decades, has been just don't outshine, don't be too big. And as Siri knows, I have a really big soul and personality, and am willing to kind of, as I'm sure many of you, step out from among them. And the truth is, my truth has been that I, part conditioning, part desiring to belong, I have, without, it's just so unconscious, contorted myself, checked all the boxes on the outside. Like everything has looked really good for a really long time. And my soul's path has been one of continued pulling back and the shedding. And more recently, I'd say in the last probably 2 years, that pulling back and walking my own personal soul's path has, I don't want to say fractured, but like brought contention in even the circles that I thought I was safe in being me in the spiritual worlds. I'd say the one thing that I am experiencing, Siri, is that I'm now 45 years old and I cannot not do me any longer. And so there is just this sense of hear me roar, and not from and at anybody, but it's just that is that very like lion's breath. Like I can't not do it anymore. And it's getting really weird. It's getting really weird. And I'm actually experiencing a lot of liberation and a lot of unwillingness to leak my energy to make somebody be okay. And it is so freeing. I often just picture myself zipping up my like light suit. It's like a suit, and I just zip it up. And I really am practicing and feeling so much growth in the letting everybody have the experiencing that they're meant to be, that they're meant to have. And that if they're drawn away from me in me being me, that's okay too.
Mm.
So there's been actually a lot of freedom in this for me recently. And this has been a very deep pain point of mine for a very, very, very long time. So thank you.
So well put, Heidi. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Thank you for that. Thank you for the authenticity. And I think you naturally encompassed so much of what our experience. I think we're probably going to have a lot of similar shares to this. So as we're each sharing, just keep in mind that we know that you all have the experience that Heidi just shared. So if there's something similar, of course, share it, but think of something that is unique to you. Want to encourage each of you to do the deep digging that Heidi just did, but in your own version, because it's all for the best. And I love that reminder. And that's why I wanted to do this, because thank you for the reminder that if people are going to be activated by something I'm doing by stepping into my knowing or my power or my creativity or my expansion, that that's for them too. And also, how can we make it safe? That's my continuous exploration for myself. How can I make it safe for myself to be me? How can I make it safe for other people around me to be in community with me when I'm in my truth? And that's really important too, is that marriage of being my full powerful self and being in my truth, but also making it safe without abandoning myself. So I'm curious who feels like, oh, I just have something to share right now about this. Kana?
The things that have come up right now is there was a recent moment with my mom. We are caring for my dad, who has been in the hospital for a month and a half. And then that's after 2 rounds of chemo and been on this cancer journey for over 2 years. My parents are from Taiwan. I was born in Japan, and then we're here. So I'm a third culture kid. My parents don't exactly speak a lot of English, and my Mandarin is not exactly that good. And then now I'm navigating our health system where we're learning what all of these labs mean and what you're looking for when it comes to the kidneys versus the lungs versus the liver versus the heart, right? In the midst of all that, you got to get so heady. And then you're dealing with aging parents and things like that. And you want to care and be empathetic to the process of both sides. And as elders are getting older in that portion of their lives, how do you give them their agency as well as be
Mm-hmm.
strong for them, as well as care for them, and as well as make sure that they do the things that they need to do? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much to hold. And the thing I'm realizing is over and over, I can't do it all, right? I'm expected to do it all somewhere, some way. We're born and bred to do it all. And then there was a recent moment with my mom that she was on this process of like, well, if you did it 2 weeks ago, if you had that conversation 2 weeks ago with that person, then we would know different information today.
Mm.
Very rarely tell my mother no. I very rarely tell her, no, I'm not going to do that, or stop, or something along those lines. And I told her, I said, no, I'm not going to go into if we would have land with you. If we would have is not helpful right now. And I know that that was also very terse and to the point in that moment, but that was something that I knew I had to use to, it was a bit of survival. I'm starting to learn how to draw boundaries. It's not something that I'm very good at doing, all of those things, but it's reshaping the relationship that I have with my mom and teaching her how to be with me now has
Right.
been a long, it's a lifelong journey. It's interesting as you think of what's been passed on to you generationally as
Yeah.
well. So,
Oh, that's beautiful. What a beautiful piece of this whole puzzle. Before we started the breathwork, I saw this image of an octopus with all these suction cups, and I was thinking, This is one of the arms. You know, what you're talking about, this motherhood relationship, the daughter relationship, the parentified daughter, this is where it starts. The conditioning starts of, I have to be it all. I have to do it all. I have to be 2 weeks ahead of where I should be. I have to have known already. I have to be hyper vigilant. I have to be good. I have to be the good girl. That is our first relationship with another woman, is our mother relationship. So thank you for sharing that. And bless what you're going through, because, oh my goodness, do you need a lot of holding? We all, caretakers need caretakers. So just giving you a huge hug. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Sam, I saw you nodding quite a bit. Do you want to share anything?
I'm just resonating so much with everybody and sending so much love as well. I feel like I could talk forever about this topic. This is my
Yeah.
book is called Idea, Awaken Your Inner Goddess. And one of the very last chapters is actually sisterhood. It's a whole chapter about the importance of sisterhood and this whole conversation of going from these toxic female relationships that are just so normal as children, with being bullied and the drama and the judgment, and you guys are hanging out and I'm not invited, and the clickiness and all of these things that turn into, sometimes as we get older, the normal. And it shouldn't be the normal. Just like Heidi talked about, unapologetically stepping into your power and becoming your best self frees you of the shackles of what was once normal. And through each evolution of becoming that goddess version, you're attracting new sisterhood groups, and even the ones that become more aligned sometimes fall away when a new chapter unfolds or something changes. And it's such a long journey and it's such a never-ending journey. I feel like in my life right now, I had a very, very, very wonderful, strong sisterhood that was surrounding me in a business sense for a long time. And changing businesses, changing career, changing my path ended up kind of changing my whole sisterhood experience. And so now I feel like I'm in this phase where I don't have a whole lot of close friends anymore. And not because I can't be friends with them, but just because I've been in this cocooning phase of I'm reinventing myself yet again. And I want to come out of the cocoon with such a strong intention and field and magnetism that it's only the people that I truly want to spend quality time with that come in. And so I feel like my circle has gotten smaller,
Mhm.
but that has been really good for me at this phase. And it's just always kind of shifting and changing.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful, but it is something that I think is so important to have these types of gatherings, whether it's in person or online, or having different communities that we're a part of where we are able to show up for each other in a safe space and just create. I mean, we just from a few shares, we all feel like, wow, I'm not alone, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure all listeners are like, wow, I'm not alone. Okay, all of them are feeling this too, and they're the
Yes.
ones doing this work and, helping people through this work. I'm okay. I've got this, and I can keep taking the next step. And that's really what all us women need, is just to know we're not alone. And there's lots of women out there who don't want to be the judgmental, competitive, whatever. They want to be the genuine sister, mother, I got you, you got this, I believe in you person. So that would be my message.
Thank you. Thank you, Samantha. I know your story because it's on my podcast here, and just a piece of it anyway. And I imagine that most women, if they've gotten to their 30s, 40s, have had an experience of deep betrayal and crumbling away of what we thought was so pure. And to cocoon after that, I think is natural. And I think that it's really beautiful for you to bring forth that truth. that not every season is a season of expansion with girlfriends. Not every season is a season of let's have everyone come over. Because I know for me, I used to, everyone and everybody, like, let's go. And that's just not where I'm at right now. It's very selective, it's very intentional. And I think as you get older, that's kind of natural too. But I also see groups of expanding circles and expanding women and lots of inclusion, and it's all okay. But it really means a lot to me to hear your stories. There's just so much medicine and gold in it in each piece. So I know that Cora and Christine have a partnership that is about sisterhood and healing sisterhood and being in sisterhood. So I'd love to hear from both of you. Cora, would you mind going next?
Thanks, everybody, for sharing. It's really relatable and nourishing. Yes, Christine and I have the soul of friendship together, conscious friendship. Our mission is to show how friendship can be an absolutely sacred, powerful container for deep, profound healing, awakening, and of course, fun and play and all of that too. I know for myself, I didn't feel super safe in my family of origin as a kid. And friends became that family for me. And so not only do I prioritize friendship very highly for that reason and others, but I've also noticed that my deepest wounding
Hmm.
tends to come up in friendship,
Mm-mm.
because it's been my family. So it's where the family dynamics play out. And one of the ones I'm looking at a lot right now is a trauma response of fawning,
Yeah.
not speaking my truth, not being direct, not being fully honest in order to stay connected. I have this part of me that's like, "Ah, I'm 44, I should know better." And then I have this part that feels truly like 6 years old, like, I don't know how to do this. So I'm just currently in that exploration, and I'm so blessed to have Christine as a partner in that journey. And also, I'm surrounded by people who can really hold me and invite me to rise lovingly. So that's where I'm at currently.
Wow, that's powerful to know this background piece of family not feeling like the safe space. So then, therefore, friends become the safe space. So, therefore, friends become the family wounding. You know, this girlfriend becomes representative of mother, this girlfriend becomes representative of father, you know, all of that. And I find that too. I find that these female relationships can be very potent in terms of, oh, that's a past life. That was my mom in a past life, that girlfriend, or what have you, right? Like, ugh. So it's incredible that you're doing this work together. Thank you for sharing that. And then Christine.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're just launching our Instagram page today. Would love to see you all there. Cora and I co-authored a book together, and the inspiration for the book was the realization that we, outside of our romantic relationships, which is where I've experienced a lot of drama and karma and challenge, my friends became my life partners. Similar to Cora, my family of origin, parents went through divorce. It was very challenging in my family household. So my friends' connection is what I thrive on, and my friends became a source for that from the time I was at 5 years old. I mean, all the way through today. And my biggest challenge has been the indoctrination of the patriarchy. And it took me a long time to use those words, but this individualism, the competitiveness, all of those things that we inherited that infiltrated the sisterhood, and to reclaim the truth of nature. You know, it's like one of the reasons I live in Hawaii. Like, the truth is, we are meant to live in a harmonious way where we're all blossoming in our own unique flower or tree or whatever it is and working together. I've gone through in my healing and my growth journey through so many different friend groups. It's been very, very challenging to grow, evolve, and then to shift out of the current friend, like, oh, wait, there's no longer resonance here, and then to keep forging my path around my own growth and healing, and then allowing those relationships to shift. And I also went through a cocooning phase of many years in my awakening and my healing journey, and spent many, many days with my dog on the beach alone, feeling so alone in my journey. And Cora was with me through that whole process. And then coming out on the other side, as I cultivated my own relationship with myself, my own emotional regulation skills, understanding my nervous system, understanding my core wounds and my traumas, the people who I started to relate with were so much more healthy, including the men that I dated. And so my perspective is, as we do that inner work with ourselves and then we awaken and we heal, then we create better and more safe, nourishing relationships outside of us. And so that's our work. That's my mission in the world. It's what I'm devoted to, not just in the realm of friendship, but also in sacred intimacy and partnership. It's miraculous what actually can happen. I didn't experience bullying until I was in my 30s, you guys. I'm like, what in the holy moly? Like a 35-year-old is bullying me? This is insane. And of course, online now we have cancel culture, and it's just like, it's so challenging. And what comforts me is the foundation of the tribe that I have now, which is I have some through line friends for the last 15, 20 years. But the last few years, in where I'm at in consciousness now and who's around me, I have this safety as a result of that tribal feeling of belonging. And these people have my back. I have their back. We've been through some shit together, like big, big life traumas, and have learned how to support each other and to move through those in a way that we continue to deepen in intimacy and connection and safety. That's what I know is on the other side of all of the challenge and all of the strife and all of the that we go through. That's why it's become my mission, because I go through so many cycles of relationships with men, but my friends are like, I'm ride or die. So
Yes. Thank you for sharing that perspective and all those little vulnerabilities of the things along the way, but also the hope and the joy and the expansion and the freedom of now seeing mirrored back to you that really safe space of an evolved woman, an evolved sister that meets you and matches your authenticity and your frequency and your truth. It's really amazing. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm so glad you guys are doing this work together.
yeah, and I appreciate what you said, Sari, about how do we create the safety. It's like, first within, and then it's a real art. We are evolving to be relational instead of individual, from patriarchal to matriarchal. And so we're all in this together in the
Yeah.
healing. And how do we rewire and rewrite, really honestly, the original code of nature, which is who we are as women. It's so deep, it's so incredible, and it's challenging, and it's hard, and it's all the things.
Yeah, and I think what you're talking about is the mirror of nature, the mirror of women, how we are a mirror for each other. And so sometimes it's going to be beautiful to look in the mirror and affirming, and sometimes it's going to be challenging to look in the mirror and challenging to look at nature is not always beautiful. Nature can be pretty hard and rough and gross and challenging and difficult. That's beautiful that we're looking at these metaphors of how does nature work? How do we work as cyclical human beings? Camilla, I saw you nodding quite a bit. I know you're ready to share.
Oh my God, I love all of this so much. Thank you for bringing everything to the table, you beautiful women. Three things. First of all, I'm so happy, Siri, that you're using the word sovereignty, because that is my word. That's what I do. I'm a sovereignty coach. I use all the modalities to free people from external control, which I believe is also our conditioning and societal, patriarchal, and family of origin. And we've kind of talked about all three of those. And then when you said authenticity versus belonging from Brene Brown, I loved how she spoke about it. Belonging is when you're authentic and accepted. That's belonging. Fitting in, which if you think about fitting in, you're reshaping yourself, which we've been talking about. And so the difference between wanting to fit in versus wanting to belong. Because when you feel belonging, it's because somebody sees you, hears you, feels you, and loves you, not loves you because you decided to agree with them or be this or look this way or say this thing or whatever, vote that way. So love that. And then for my personal journey with this, I'm so happy to share, has been the mother wound. That is our core relationship. And I believe that that is what sets us up for relationship with all people and things, whether it's our sisters or our lovers or nature, our relationship with animals, our children, life, right? Money, all of it. And for me, I think I lived my entire life trying to get mommy to love me the way that I needed to be loved. And only this last year, after being in a relationship with somebody who actually, for the first time, was loving me, and of course, I had to do the work to even attract in that partner and open up to him in this way to receive it. But once I had experienced that, then I went home to see my family for Thanksgiving and everything blew up. Now, having worked through it, it's so beautiful. My mother actually went to therapy after that because we are mirrors for each other. And for my personal growth, I was able to cut the cord, and not in a way where it's like, F you, mom, I don't want anything. Not like that. But that inner child that has still been looking for mommy's love, I realized this is just a woman who happened to birth me in. And we have this beautiful soul contract. And really, my mother is source. My mother is divine. My mother is Mother Earth. The source for my parental needs is God, universe, whatever the word is that you guys use. So now that I've been sourcing from that spirit, I have been able to recreate. And for the first, my mom and I had the conversation. We don't know how to do this. She didn't grow up with a beautiful mother-daughter relationship. She doesn't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. My first time as Camilla in this life. So we have decided to make this what we want, the relationship what we want, as a clean slate. I took her off the pedestal of being the one who needed to fill my cup.
Yeah.
And I actually have been filling it and sourcing it from source itself. So now I feel free to be 100%, like Heidi was saying, 100% authentic. And that's what gave me the freedom, was letting go of that. And
Ugh.
it's just been profound, profound. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy to share. Thank you for letting me.
Thank you for sharing that piece. I love that. Such powerful shares. Coming back to the mother relationship and the fact that you gave back to her a gift of, I'm no longer trying to do this. What a gift to her as well as to you. Your liberation is her liberation. So powerful. So powerful.
Because the pressure she must have felt to be
Sure.
the one to source my love, when
Sure.
I release that, exactly, we're both free.
I love it. And how incredible it is that she's alive to do and available to do that process with you, that you've inspired her, and therefore she's going to rise up with you and create something new. Like we're talking about rewritten, Sisterhood Rewritten. You're rewriting the story. Thank you for that, Camilla. Janine, yes. Janine is one of my oldest
I was
girlfriends.
gonna say, we've been through all kinds of versions of ourselves from how old? Like 20
I,
years?
well, I think I met you when I was like 23, maybe,
We're the
and
same
I'm
age.
47.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And it's wild. I hear everyone and resonate with everyone, and it's so relevant. And I think about, I'm raising two girls, and they're so in it with the beginnings of dealing with female relationships and the word mirror. Like there are these little mirrors in our homes, and I have a second grader and a fourth grader, and the fourth grader's way social, and she's in this clique of girls, and you think you've healed all these things, these wounds and traumas, until your daughter goes through one, and then it brings you right back. It gives you almost, I feel like they give you a second chance to turn a page and reread that chapter in your life and see, oh, there's some stuff there that I'm still holding on to. And it's been really intense. I feel like the older they're getting, the more of the comparisons that we talk about, the fitting in, and then the moms and how we're navigating our own friend dynamics. And it can be really intense at times and really overwhelming and hard to sometimes maintain like that bird's eye view. because it's bringing up the body, female body in comparison, and they're looking at who's got nicer hair. And it's like all this downloading of coming back to how can I love myself so much that I love them for what we constantly talk about loving them for their gifts and talents that are natural, and loving ourselves for our and staying in our lane. And like there's this Buddhist saying, there's like the cherry, what is it? You know it too, the cherry blossom and the apple tree, and that all of these flowers, they don't get jealous of the other flower because they're just so beautiful in and of themselves. And we talk about like the maple tree is not jealous of the oak tree, and how to be the best maple tree. And it's hard. And then you add in social media and it just goes on from there. But it's no easy task. I think about the mother wound and the daughter wound, and that's what it's been bringing up for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Janine. It is such an honor to have you as one of my oldest friends. I have friends that are earlier than you, but we're not close.
Yeah.
Janine and I have gone through so many amalgamations of friendship. Best friends and co-partners and breathwork facilitators together and Reiki and teachers together and actors together and being in movies together. We've gone through all of these pieces of like expectation, and then wait, maybe that expectation is too much. Maybe that's a lot of pressure. Maybe how are we wanting to be in relationship with each other now and getting to be in her children's lives when I go and visit hers and witnessing her daughters. And I don't have daughters, I have sons, so it's so different. Witnessing you and your mom and how you relate and what you're going through in your journey with her, witnessing what you went through with your stepmom. It's very, very tender. What I so admire about you, Janine and Heidi, what I see for both of you, and I'm just pointing you guys out because I see you have these really strong circles of women, and I really admire that. And I go, oh, that's what I want to build that. I want to build that. I don't feel like I'm in that phase. I feel like I'm in the cocoon. I don't know where I am, to be honest with you guys. Thank you for sharing that. Bringing in the piece about the daughters and seeing it from the perspective and getting to heal from the perspective of what our children are going through. I think that's a really important key piece that wasn't mentioned yet. So thank you for that. I love you. I love you. Robin.
Hi, Siri, and hi, Janine. It's good to see you again. We've interacted IRL as well in the past. It's great to see you. Thank you, Siri, for putting this panel together. I've been thinking about it so deeply, the sisterhood and you and all of your faces. I look at all your pictures and I'm just like, wonder about that. And it's so thrilling and magnificent to hear everyone sharing. And basically, you've shared everything that's up for me has been shared through your authenticity and generosity. I'll just share a couple specific things that came up. Of course, as it always does when you are leading and facilitating, Siri, you invited us early on in the session to, however it wanted to come up, let it go. You were like, bite your, rage, scream, cry, shake. And I took that invitation and I went with it. And somewhere in the middle of that release, knowing that we were getting into a conversation about sisterhood and what that means, the voice came, the download came in the middle of the session. Call your mother. I think about you, Siri, and it's impossible for me to not think about you and the relationship that you have with your mother, having listened to the podcasts when you've had her on and knowing you for some years now and that relationship. And when I got her on the phone, I just started to share. I was crying and weeping, telling her that I was not upset. I was not upset, but that a lot of emotion was coming through, and I had felt called to speak with her. And what ultimately came up, and this reminds me of, there's a amazing movie called Chinatown with Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. And in this scene, Jack slaps her face and she goes, "My sister, my mother, my sister, my mother, my sister, my daughter, she's my daughter." And in this conversation, I was just so present to this sisterhood with my mother that I have never stepped into until a year ago. I decided to move back home and be bi-coastal, such that I'm seeing my parents again on the daily in my late 40s. I'm now back on the home front and it's all coming up. But what has never been part of the alchemy of our relationship, because growing up, she said, I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
Friend, I'm going to be your mother, and you're going to be glad that I'm your mother and I'm not your friend. Because
Same.
friends fill in the blank, friends fill in the blank, but your mother, me, I ain't going anywhere.
Sure.
And for sure, that kind of love, I've never known a love like that. For the first time in my life, I'm actually available to experience the love from my mother and my father.
Wow.
It
Wow.
has knocked me back. It has blown open my life. I can't even believe the blessing of my parents. And I'm also in grief because I was never able to experience how much they loved me until I'm almost 50 years old. I
Yeah.
wasn't able to feel it because I had my stories and I had my rackets.
Sure.
Even having gone through the programs and 30 years of therapy, I was never available. And now that I can feel it, the conversation I had with my mom, I said, Mom, I'm so sorry I haven't been there earlier because I ran away. When I was 17, I went on the road, Broadway tours, joined the circus, became an actor, teaching about, it's all been arts and crafts. And I was also fleeing my parents
Sure.
because I could not deal.
Sure.
Oh, through the kind of work that you do, Siri, and facilitate, and so many women in this room, I have been able to avail myself to actually of what the sisterhood means, whether that's with a man or a woman. And what I'm discovering is that the sisterhood is actually everywhere. During the breathwork session, I was outside, Siri, and I felt the kinship with the petals on the flower and the trees and the sunlight. Like, I've walked around for decades trying to get related to people.
Right.
And I'm like, we're all already related.
Mm-hmm.
How could we not be?
Yeah.
I'm already related. What is this extra energy that I think I have to do to get related to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all related. I mean, indivisible, right?
Yeah.
In the oneness that is the cosmos. So I'm just present to the sisterhood being available in every direction and the possibility of healing. And you've talked about it so beautifully. And what kind of my heart is with you and your family and your father right now. And I'm also wanting to say that and everything that everyone has shared. And Heidi, what you were sharing about not being available for morphing myself into a person that I think other people want to be around, and that has to end. And so I'm just really excited about what becomes available when we can show up authentically. I can't wait to read your book, Samantha, because I'm sure it's all in there, and what might be available when we can show up authentically, having dismantled through work like you do, Siri, having dismantled all these stories and these defense mechanisms that keep us from being related to one another in sisterhood, in brotherhood. So I'm really excited about what's ahead. My relationships with the people that are the source of my life are completely transforming on the daily. I do not recognize them and they do not recognize me, but I know for the first time what unconditional love is with my parents and my sister, my actual sister, like I've never known it before. And although I'm shocked that it's taken me this long to get present to what's available, I am on my knees in gratitude that I'm seeing this light. And I am for sure 100% that it is knowing people like you, Siri, and everyone in this room that is cause and the matter of this progression. So thank you. And I love you. And I appreciate you mothers in this room, mothers, sisters in this room. Wow. My whole life, the last 2.5 years in the world of arts and crafts is doing a show, touring it around the country called What the Constitution Means to Me, which is about dismantling the patriarchy, not just in the world and in this country, but in our hearts that rages. It's all about how once that is not running the show, what might be possible for women and Indigenous people. It's a play that is addressing cultural abuse, sexual abuse, trying to do better as we wake up. Thank you for everything that you all shared. It's really magnificent and miraculous. Thank you.
Oh, Robin, thank you for bringing us home in that way. And we still have a couple more shares, but gosh, you touch my heart and you break it open, and you all have so far today. Thank you so much for sharing the piece about allowing love in and taking the shackles and melting them and letting yourself receive that kind of love, because that is deep medicine and we all need it.
Yeah.
So thank you for giving the example of that. And that is so primal and so poignant and so potent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you
love
for
you.
triggering it. Thank you for triggering me.
I want to talk to Teresa. Yes. And I want to talk to Trisha. Yes. Okay.
Hi.
Okay. I'm
Hi.
here.
Hi. So much hard love coming out, all of you. I've loved all this. My little heart's been being fast with all these waves of love and knowledge and experience that you all have. I'm inspired to talk about, yes, the receiving of it. And yes, being able to have agency around how that moves outside. But can't we just really hard, judgment free, agree to love each other? Especially women, like we're more than half the population. I always see ourselves as like a mycelium, you know? If we just cut the shit, you know what I mean? And really just love each other so friggin' hard. You know, we're fish, yeah, and the sea we swim in is the shame. You know, we're not smart enough, not, I never had kids, but I still feel like I'm a mother. You know, I'll always be a little girl. I'll always be a sister. I'll always be a daughter. We are all these things on all these timelines at all at once.
Yeah.
And, not enough money, not enough hotness, not enough skinniness, not enough, time, not enough success, all these things. So all this shame. And we're so quick in our friendships. And I've had these experiences and I've experienced them as a witness to other friendships. And I'm like, how quick we are in our want to fit in and our want to belong, to drop someone in the group. Oh, and fuck, why do we do that? We just want to connect. And when women get together and we connect, magic freaking happens every time. And to not lose that connection and to empathize and find out what about them is triggering me like this. When we connect, the things that we want to see in the world happen when we completely 100% agree that you are mine and I am yours and you, me, I, we, us. And I just want this sisterhood to be the thing that we stop talking about and actually just do. You walk down the street and I fucking love you. You walk down the street, I don't even know who you are. And we're in here on this rock at this time, at this same place. And can't we just drop our shit and love you so hard? And when I do that to you, I crack open. This internal look sometimes just gets me so that I just want to go, I'm going to let you in and I'm going to give you all of me. And when I see you look at me, like everything is healed. All of my wounds are healed. And whatever you've got going on, I'm here for you. I do a lot of work with shame because I've got a bunch of my own, and so I work a lot in sisterhood with women. And when we do it in sisterhood and we do it together and we see that all of our stories are the same and everything is a thread and we are mycelium, we come alive. Everything we want in life, all the relationship we want, all the love we want. And then we forgive our mom and we forgive our inner child and we forgive what our partner is or not giving to us. I just think there's so much power in this and so much energy in that. And instead of receiving, my purpose is just to give, and accept and love super hard. Have a dream. That's what I'm going for.
Oh, it's infectious. Oh, your energy is beautiful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking about shame. Gosh, we didn't really fully cover that, and that's a really intrinsic piece.
Let's
Because
talk
that
all the
is that
podcast.
is why we would cut someone off. That is why we would ostracize. That is why we would judge. That is why we would say you're better than me or I'm better than you.
And defensiveness, just going, well, to protect that little piece, I'm going to judge you because that makes and helps me fit in. It's the same old story. You know
Sure.
what I mean? But when we open that and keep letting them in, because women, we just talked about it, we keep going from friendship to friendship groups. But can't we just keep expanding them instead of separating them? Can't we just connect? Because that's who we are. That's what we are. We are mothers. We are connectors. We are teachers. We are leaders. We are all the things. And we give all that power over to men, to other things, to other people. But we are it. We, all of us, women are magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that piece. That was really important. The joyful piece, along with the shame piece, so important to this conversation. Everyone's brought such a vital piece of this story. So, Trisha,
Hi.
no pressure that you're closing us out.
Yeah.
And there's a little poem I have. So,
Oh, beautiful. I can't wait to hear it. I will definitely touch on the shame aspect, and I think a little bit also about vulnerability and connection, and how I think that's like just a common thread of like something that everyone has shared when it comes to not only sisterhood, but our relationships with others, whether they're also another sister or mother, whatever, and also our relationships with ourselves. I know for myself, I've gone through the toughest 3 years that I will have, hopefully, for a while, of family unraveling. To be frank, I witnessed my father texting his girlfriend while my mom was sitting across from me, and it was the day before their 30th wedding anniversary.
mm,
I'm also the eldest daughter. For a long time, the narrative that was told to me was, oh, if anything happens to either mom or dad, as the oldest, you're kind of the third parent. For a long time, it just felt like I couldn't let other people see that I wasn't really ready to handle what all of that means. And it was very much like, oh, this is your role, and you just have to stumble through it. There are lots of these opportunities where people around me are saying, oh, I'm here to help, but I couldn't give myself the permission slip to let people in and be vulnerable and say, like, I can't do this, or is this even for me? And yeah, it's been difficult, and also wanting to have a relationship with my sister, but then also knowing that when I told her about discovering the infidelity, she said, oh, I don't even want to be a part of this family anyway. I'm not surprised. And that
mm,
was the last time I heard from her.
mm,
A lot of these cycles of feeling like I am by myself and I have
mhm,
to figure all of this out.
mhm.
And for a long time, knowing that I could do it, but then never going through that experience before. So, not knowing that I just couldn't handle it, and honestly shouldn't have been handling a lot
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
things that were put on me.
Mhm.
So, I think it's really so beautiful when women are able to come together and allow a space to let themselves be held. That's one of the beautiful things that I've been able to find and deeply appreciate about a lot of the close girlfriends and relationships that I've been able to cultivate, is that when either I or they are trying to hold it together, you need to have somebody in your life who is able to hold up that mirror and say, I see you're just masking, and it's okay to put down the armor. It's okay to tell me how you're really feeling, or
Mhm.
if there's no words, I'll just sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank
Oh
you
my
for
gosh.
everyone for being here in this moment and just holding this space in such a beautiful way.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, thank you for your truth. Thank you for sharing the truth even when your voice shakes, because that means that you're being incredibly courageous. And all the pieces you just spoke to, Trisha, are deeply intrinsic and important. And I think for me anyway, and I think for other of these women here and the women listening, the betrayal that we feel of our father when something like that happens, the trust it's like rebuilding that trust. And then the piece about being the parentified daughter, the eldest daughter, same. And then not feeling close to your own sister, same, phases. But I love the fact that you are sharing also that you have experience of being held by sisters, by other women. You have the experience of someone saying to you, you don't have to have it together. You don't have to be the responsible one who's going to take over if the parents can't do their job. I love that you're having that experience and that you're sharing that. Like Teresa was saying, how powerful it is as women for us to do that for each other. As I started out this circle by saying, some of the deepest healing and the deepest being seen I've ever experienced is through sisters that are all of you committed to your evolution. And that for me is the through line. And I imagine it's the through line for a lot of you is, are you committed to your evolution? Are you committed to being the best version of yourself that you can be and continuing to grow, regardless of our traumas and regardless of the things that have made us want to shut down and made us feel like we can't let the love in, we can't trust, regardless of how many times we've felt betrayed or we've felt judged or we've felt canceled or we've felt ostracized, can we continue to come back and open our heart again and learn how to be in this open-hearted, loving space again, like Robin and Teresa were talking about? So I feel like today was sort of a renewal for ourselves, an opportunity to renew our trust in what sisterhood can feel like when we're really honest about what we're each going through. I want to share a poem to close out our circle. I also feel like there's a book in each of you that you could share about this topic. Today was just like a little touching upon what we each have inside of us. So, something living moved between us today. It moved in the pauses, in the cracks in the voice, in the moments when someone said, "Me too." It moved in the courage to speak, in the courage to stay quiet, in the courage to feel. Sisterhood is built in moments like this, in rooms like this, in circles like this. It is built in the willingness to be seen, in the willingness to see. Every story shared today added a thread. Every breath laid down another layer of trust. Trust within ourselves, trust for others. Every woman contributed to the field. And what we created is subtle, and it's also powerful, and it will echo in conversations, in our marriages, in our friendships, in the way we walk into rooms. It will echo in the way we speak to ourselves. Sisterhood lives in that echo. It lives in remembering that we belong. It lives in choosing to return. It lives in women who stay awake to one another. So thank you for bringing your whole self. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your presence. The circle travels with you. What we experienced today with each other travels with us forever. I know I am forever changed by this conversation. So thank each of you for your wisdom and bringing your wisdom and your learnings and like, hey, here's where I am on my path today with this topic. So thank you for that. It's past our time, but I would like to say permission to hop off if you need to hop off, and permission to unmute and just share anything that feels like, oh, I didn't get to share that one thing. This is our after party.
This is for you, Siri. Thank you we hear these words all the time, sisterhood. We've heard that before. We hear the jargon, you're not alone, but it isn't until a spirit like you creates an environment like this that we feel those words, you're not alone, to be actually true. So thank you for that. It's miraculous work you're doing and much appreciated. It is such a nourishing reality now in our lives that wasn't going to happen unless you set this all up. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you for always being here. You always bring the juicy.
What's going to be better than this?
I did forget to say, I know you all have your own versions of circling with women, but I do have 4 spots left if any of you want to come and be in circle like this. On the Oregon coast, May 3rd to the 6th for the listeners. There's 4 spots left, May 3rd to the 6th, Rockaway Beach, Oregon. Let's have a conversation, see if it's aligned for you. There's a few other incredible women already in that retreat circle. We're going to do breath work, we're going to do Reiki, we're going to talk, we're going to eat, we're going to be nourished by the chef. It's going to be incredible. There's an in-house sauna. We're on the ocean. We're going to walk on the ocean. We're just going to breathe and be and release and have this kind of experience, but even more and more and more. So also, if you know someone, you're listening to this and you know someone that this would benefit, please connect us, because I would love to talk to them about this opportunity. I'm just so appreciative of each of you.
I feel like I made 10 new girlfriends today. Like, I feel like I could call any of you right now. What's the worst that could happen? You might not pick up, but I can still try. I can still try. That's great. That's great.
Robin, you're totally welcome to call. You're totally welcome to text message, email, whatever you maybe send a carrier pigeon, whatever. I'm here and available.
I might even send you, I'm going to send you a singing telegram. How about that?
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
That's great. Thank you for that invitation. That's so lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
And for everybody.
Yeah, I'll take all of your calls anytime.
Kana, I haven't seen you in person in so long, but we used to get together for lunch and in Vegas and all sorts of times that we had a chance to get together. And I will tell you, Kana, that Robin's voice notes are gold. So please connect with each other.
I look forward to it. Yeah, Siri, when you were reflecting about your friendship with Janine, I was like, oh my gosh, I've known you. I was remembering the different locations that I saw you at. I remember the first time it was in this cafe and you had overalls on and you had like your hair tied back and your face was like glowing, right? It was before you became a mom, before you gave birth. And then from there, I remember it was a condo that you were in, and then the house in Chatsworth. I kept going through the years of like geography. It's wild when you've known people for a while and then watch their different iterations. And Samantha, I actually know you. You don't know me, but I know who you are through our former communities. And
yes.
Yeah, it's really cool to see quasi-familiar faces and new faces all combining. The mycelium is a wonderful metaphor for it all too. The levels of connection.
I had a dream that mushrooms were growing out of my legs last night, a whole network, and I was freaking out. And guess who I called? Speaking of our conversation, my mom in my dream, of course.
Wow.
Thank you for that reminder, because now that I've cut the cord with my mom, one thing I didn't get to say is that's exactly it, is I'm freed up to now actually experience that love, because there's no longer the pressure of her to do it the way that I need. It's like, no, it's cut.
Much love, much love.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, I love the mushroom talk because that's
her product.
Mushrooms now. I love it.
Thank you, Robin.
So
I love
good.
it.
So good. Siri, thank you for this. You're
Oh my gosh, I love you.
I'm thinking of your
You're so
boy and
welcome.
his bones every second. I know Siri's broke his bones. I have the same thing. It hurts, and
he's doing so much better.
Doing so much better. Thank God.
But no, it's been horrible.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's such a pain in so many ways. Thank God. Does he have his cast on yet?
He's got his cast on. He's school today, and I'm gonna go pick him up in 1 hour. He was at school for a whole big chunk today. Yesterday it was only 1 hour. Today it was most of the day. So we're doing really well. I think we'll see how.
Yeah. That's a huge step. That is a gigantic step.
Yeah.
You're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you, honey.
Doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Thank you for this. What's our next panel?
March 20th. Spring equinox, the thaw.
/ love light of all of our dreams. Here comes the love light of all of our dreams. Come true with Siri Baruch Thornton. Okay. Amazing. Okay. I kiss you. I love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Too.
Keep expanding your capacity to feel good, one breath at a time. Loving you. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Love you. Thank you.